A trail run. I went hiking in Canyonlands and got lost. It was Halloween. My first day here. I got lost. I walked off the trail.
That's actually really easy to do here.
I know. I thought I was experienced, and I just lost the trail. And there's none of those Karens. How do you say that word? Cairns.
I call them Cairns.
Karens. Sounds like you're saying Karen.
Well, that's what my friends and I like to do when we're on the trail and we run into one. We just say, "Oh, hey, Karen."
May I speak with your manager, please? Everyone loves hating Karens right now. It's like the best. It's nice. As a country, we are united against one thing, and it is some poor woman named Karen.
I feel kind of bad for people actually named Karen.
Oh my God, it's a beautiful name. Rashida Jones in The Office, she was named Karen. That's probably the hottest Karen on TV.
I forgot about that.
I'm trying to remember it because Karens do get a bad rap in general.
Yeah. Well, I remember hiking with a friend once, and we did the whole "Hey Karen" thing to the Karens, and my friend was just like, "Can you not say that name? That was my ex-boyfriend's sister's name," and it really.
Ex-boyfriend's sister?
Yeah.
Come on. I'm sorry, but come on. Ex-boyfriend, no problem. If your ex-boyfriend's name's Karen, that's not a big deal. But so I'm here with Kelsey. I met you. You're my neighbor at the camps. We're on a Bureau of Land Management campsite, BLM, which is like me and my friend have been started calling them Black Lives Matter campsites. And it's like, hey, we're all great. I'd love to support. Yeah, BLM. Let's do it. So it's a free campsite.
It's basically just a hunk of sand.
It's a bunch of land. People are all around us. Like, there's got to be how many? This is Willow Springs Road. How many people do you think are on this stretch?
I'd say at least 45 vehicles
Exactly.
by the end of the day.
Exactly. So I think 100 people. Honestly, I think 100 people. We're looking at 100 people. I don't know.
It's a lot. I got in after the sunset last night, and I wasn't sure where to park.
Yeah, people were around searching. Now, you came from Jackson, Wyoming?
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's where you're living right now, Jackson, Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
But you are from Westchester, New York.
I am.
What brought you to Jackson? How did that happen?
Well, I got my degree in wildlife biology.
From where?
University of New Hampshire.
Okay. Which is where? Which state is it in?
It is in the great state of New Hampshire.
Which city in New Hampshire?
Durham, New Hampshire.
Durham.
Fun fact, Lyme disease capital of the world. Or I guess of the U.S. And therefore, I guess the world.
Wow. Maybe. Who knows? Lyme disease?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a real tough. My dog and my mom got Lyme disease recently. It's not easy.
It's
sucks.
a serious thing.
It sucks. So Durham, New Hampshire.
Yep.
And then from there, you're getting your master's now, but that didn't happen right after undergrad.
No. So I guess I could give you my whole spiel that I give as a tour guide.
Okay, great. So first of all, where do you tour guide, and what is that?
I am a wildlife tour guide with a company called EcoTour Adventures, based out of Jackson.
And are you going into Grand Teton National Park?
Grand Teton and Yellowstone National Parks.
You go to both in a van or something?
What was that?
In a van or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
in a van or like a Ford Expedition.
Okay.
One of the two.
Okay, and you're doing that, and you go, "Hi, my name's Kelsey. Here's my spiel."
Yeah.
Go
First I say, "My name's Kelsey. You can call me anything you want, but don't call me Chelsea." I hate that name.
Big laugh. Everyone loves it.
Sure.
Clap, 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 clap.
See, this is the cool thing about being a tour guide is that I've had the chance to practice all of my really crappy jokes on people and see what lands and what doesn't. Because unlike you, I'm not a comedian.
You work out your act. Yeah. That's what we do too.
That's fair.
All right.
Okay.
So you can call me anything, but don't call me Chelsea.
Yeah. So
don't call me. You can call me a big dumb slut, but just don't call me Chelsea.
Yeah, like anything.
Okay.
So after I graduated college in 2013, and then I spent the next 5-ish years working and traveling all over the world, studying different animals. When I say studying,
very vague. Oh, this is the spiel. Sorry.
Yeah. No, when I say studying, I mean it's typically like GPS collaring.
Okay. Yep.
Animals, tracking their movements, studying the things that they eat and kill, studying their habitat, doing vegetation surveys, that sort of thing. So I moved to South Africa for a while to trap big cats.
Whoa.
I moved to New Zealand to work with fish, bit of a departure from the terrestrial mammals.
Yes, a whole different world. A whole new world.
Yeah,
no, that's not from the Little Mermaid, but keep going. Keep going.
And
Under
then
the sea.
In Costa Rica, I also worked with big cats.
Pura vida.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Costa Rica when I was 17 years old and loved it. Didn't drink a drop of alcohol, but had a great time.
It's a fantastic country. I went to Costa Rica when I wasn't a coffee drinker, and I feel like it was wasted on me.
Oh my God, you didn't have any coffee?
No.
Damn.
Yeah, it was a poor decision.
Do you drink coffee now?
I do.
Okay, so you could. Yeah, that is a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah, I know. After my international travels, I worked a lot with, I worked in the U.S. with white-tailed deer, black bears, elk, a number of bird species, and wolves.
And you're working for the government in that capacity?
Mm-hmm. State or federal wildlife agencies.
Okay, side question. In this place, there's all these black birds flying overhead, swooping. Woo, woo, woo.
Mm-hmm.
Those are not crows.
Ravens.
Those are fucking ravens?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Close
They're huge,
to
aren't
raven,
they?
nevermore. They freak me out, and they fly slow. It's like, woo, woo. It's like, it's not, it's unnerving, and they're huge.
It's really cool that you can hear their wings flapping.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, they're massive. They're all over Yellowstone and Grand Teton too.
And do they have testicles? There's little white things that in their underside. Are these male ravens?
I don't know much about birds.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, sorry.
Birds
that
have
is
a
for
big
Google.
weakness.
Gotcha. So you, because you cover land and sea, but birds.
Yeah, not sky. Sorry.
This is that's all right. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So is that the spiel? Is the spiel over?
I moved to Montana 4 years ago to earn my master's in quantitative ecology from the University of Montana. Turns out quantitative ecology is super boring. It's all coding and statistics. It's gonna put me behind a desk for the rest of my life, and that is not why I got into wildlife work.
There you go.
So, with only 6 months left to graduate.
No.
From a fully funded master's
We
that
hate
was
to hear it.
paying me a stipend on top of it.
The audience hates it. We all hate it. Oh, that hurts.
Yeah, it really hurt my parents too.
I bet it did.
I dropped out.
I bet it did. My God.
But it had always been my dream to move west because that's where all the big charismatic wildlife is. Megafauna like elk, wolves, moose.
Megafauna. I've never heard that before.
Mountain lions, bears, black grizzly bears.
Oh my God! I saw this video of a guy filming a bobcat or some huge cat.
Oh, the mountain lion one.
It was a mountain
in
lion.
Utah.
Sorry, yeah. And the mountain lion was doing like clapping at him in a really crazy way.
Yeah. So
and I was like, wow, that's a megafauna.
That's exactly what you thought, isn't
Megafauna. Yes.
Yeah. She was protecting her kittens.
Where were the kittens, though?
Somewhere.
Because the guy walked like a mile over the course of the video. He was like, "Okay, man. Okay, I'm leaving."
Right. Well, I think he accidentally stumbled upon their den when he was out on a hike, and he I don't think he realized that he'd put himself in between mom and kittens.
Obviously not.
I don't know. Outside Magazine interviewed the dude. I haven't read it yet, but
yeah, his 15 minutes are over.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah, it was like a 6-minute video though of him.
I watched the whole thing.
Trying to get away. Yeah.
And he's narrating. He's like, I feel scared. I don't know.
It's stressful.
I'm so fucking scared.
Yeah.
And the move I had never seen. I was like, I have a whole new thing to be afraid of now. I had never seen the move where the cat goes.
Yeah, she. The interesting thing though is that when they do that, they don't actually want to attack you. They're just trying to scare you off.
Right, which
if
is
they
good.
want to attack you, they'll just keep going.
You would have never seen them, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, you'd already be dead. If I wanted you to be dead, you'd already be dead. That's what the mountain lion says.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Tiger King? Briefly.
Man.
Brief thoughts on the humanitarian aspect of Tiger King, not the Carol Baskin thing. I want to hear about the tigers. What's your opinion as a semi-expert?
Well, so the Tiger King.
Megafauna.
Yeah. Well, so for a long time, it was actually my dream to be like the next Jane Goodall, but for tigers.
Oh, cool. Live amongst them, learn their language.
Turns out, working with wildlife in a different country, especially as a woman, is really hard. And especially when you don't ever get to see the animal like tigers.
Oh, really?
They're just super elusive.
Ugh.
But Tiger
Which is why
King.
you should work at a tiger zoo. Yeah.
Well, so interesting side note is that when I was like working internships, like during summers during college summers, I guess, I worked at a wildlife rehab center like that.
Really?
In North Carolina.
And it was more like Carol Baskins and less like the main Tiger King guy.
Yeah, this place rescued all the different captive animals that that people around the U.S. own.
Yeah, like drug dealers and stuff would have like a fucking white tiger and 2 snakes.
Yeah, we actually had 2 leopards that were taken from a literal pimp.
Oh my god!
From somewhere in
amazing.
Texas.
Amazing. A Texas pimp. Can you imagine?
But I don't know if you remember, like a decade ago now, there was a dude in Ohio who just kind of went batshit crazy. He'd had a bunch of captive big cats and he let them all out.
Yes.
And then shot himself.
Yes, that was in Tiger King.
Mm-hmm.
I think, right? Yeah, it was it's like they showed like a news clip.
Yeah. So the facility that I worked at had a bunch of the cats that were rescued from that.
Whoa!
Mm-hmm.
And they already had taste of human blood, so it was
they wouldn't tell us which cats killed people.
I think we should know which ones, want to eat human flesh.
Yeah.
I think we deserve to know.
Yeah.
Maybe they had a GPS collar on them or some shit like you would be on them, you know?
I listened to Outside Magazine did a podcast with some of the police officers that were like called to the scene.
Whoa.
To rescue or like to capture those cats, and the shit is crazy.
What'd they do?
They just had like all these crazy recordings of the radio calls that they were making to each other, just being like there's fucking tigers running around town.
We were not prepared for this.
Yeah.
I just pull over guys who were speeding.
No police officer is trained in how to capture a big cat.
I know how to bust DUI and speeders. That's what I do. And then I talk to the elementary school kids about not doing drugs. I don't fucking
drug abuse resistance.
Yeah, I do dare. Yeah, I do dare, and I don't do tigers. Yeah, they must have been in quite a pickle there.
Yeah.
Quite a pickle. We have a dog in the mix that's going to be great.
Yeah.
We have a visual dog. So, no one wants to watch people talk. That's why you cut up into little clips. But a dog, people will watch a dog for hours on end.
She's pretty stoked on something.
There must be
under
some
this couch.
Yeah, we are sitting on a couch that was just here on this land. So I did not bring this couch. So there's a log here. It says "Sit on me," which I think that's permanent marker, right?
I believe so.
Didn't burn that on.
No.
So you didn't end up in Jackson. You left me off in
Missoula, Montana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, megafauna. That was the word that set this all off.
So, scaling back to megafauna, you're in Montana. You don't like this program, but you are in Montana, what you do like, I imagine.
I loved it.
There you go. Who doesn't like Montana?
I'd spent my whole life actually dreaming of moving to Montana without ever having been there. I just knew it had mountains, wilderness, and very few people.
But you're closer to, you're in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You're closer to the Adirondacks, but too many people?
Too many people. Mountains aren't big enough.
Yeah, they're fucking foothills, aren't they?
Yeah.
Even Mount Marcy, it's like I did that in a day and a half. No big deal.
They're one of the oldest mountain ranges on Earth, so they've been severely weathered.
Yeah.
So they're a lot shorter. Also,
you want new mountains.
Yeah.
Fresher.
Well, the Tetons are one of the youngest mountain ranges on Earth.
And the Tetons look very young.
They
slick,
have those jagged peaks.
Cut. It's like they came up out of the. It's like 3 fingers coming up out of the earth. It's like so flat around there. It's wild.
I will say it is interesting that Tetons means like nipple or breast in French, but there's 3 of them.
That is
grand, the middle, and the south.
And that's the dream. That's the dream. A guy was like, "This is like the gods. They have 3 Tetons, and they are grand, grand." And that's why I call them the Grand Tetons.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
one of my favorite questions.
She's gonna pull out a dead squirrel. It's not gonna. It's gonna. She's like rooting under the couch. It's not gonna be good what she finds. Dogs don't like lint. Dogs like meat. Something died in its couch.
She smells something that we can't smell.
Yes, which is good. If we can't smell it, it's probably fine.
It's
probably pretty small.
Oh, jeez. All right.
So the program, it's no good. Montana is good. So you moved from there to Jackson.
Yeah. After I dropped out, I spent about a year working as the outdoor education coordinator for the Girl Scouts of Montana and Wyoming. And I built a lot of wildlife and climbing centric programs with the girls because those are both more male dominated industries.
Sure.
And
not by me personally, but by other men, yes. I was asking you about rock climbing today, and I had no idea what I was talking about. You took me from step one. You use a crack in the wall, and you put this in it, and that'll hold your weight. And I go, oh, so you don't fall? And you're like, yes, so you don't fall.
Mm-hmm.
But you never like pull on it until you're falling. Anyway, this is what we discussed this today. You don't pull on it. Rosie, go ahead and pull it out. Good, pull it out. What is it?
I don't know what's under
What
the
is it,
couch,
girl?
but she's very upset about it right
What
now.
is it, girl? It's all right. You want a Cool Ranch Dorito? No, she doesn't want a Cool Ranch Dorito.
I'm gonna give her a Cool Ranch Dorito.
How about that?
Rosie.
And you'll get a Cool Ranch Dorito, Rosie, and then you're going to enjoy that. And actually, that worked for Rosie, and she's chewing it up. And she's part Border Collie, and my dog growing up is a Border Collie, and so I'm obsessed with Rosie.
It's hard not
That's
to
right.
be obsessed with her.
That's
Look at
right.
her face.
And she's chill. I think in my mind, a dog is she chill at home as well?
She is, yeah.
Yeah, that's huge because dogs are so annoying. If they want something, they let you know, and it's just annoying. It's like they're babies, and they just keep crying until they get their thing that they want.
Oh, God, yeah.
And that's why it's hard on relationships if you have a dog. Because it's like having a little baby.
Just like it's hard in relationships to have a child.
Yeah. That is. Yeah, that was hard. I assume that is hard.
I assume that's hard, too.
I saw
hope
two
I
people
never
do
find
it.
out.
Yeah, I hope I never find out. Yeah, 11 other people.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ, that was so insane. You just dropped that on me. You go. I mean, I don't know if you want to talk. You don't have to talk about it, but
No, it's fine. It's actually. Hey, Rosie. Sorry.
oh no,
It's actually blown up on TikTok.
what's blown up on TikTok? Your ex-boyfriend's thing?
Yeah, because my sister started dating him.
And she's a TikToker?
She blew it up on TikTok.
Did she really?
It's gotten over like 2 million views. All of the different videos she's posted.
Okay, cool. So now it's out there.
We
so
can watch them later if you want.
okay, so you talk me through it because you told me like 5 minutes ago and it shocked me so much that I can barely remember. Rosie, girl.
Yeah. So turns out psychopaths don't just exist in TV shows and movies, and that I'm living somebody else's nightmare.
Do go on.
Yeah, so my ex-boyfriend turns out was also dating, that I know of, 11 other women last summer.
11 last summer.
Mm-hmm.
What did he maintain all 11?
No.
So last summer at that one point.
No, yeah. I guess it would be a stretch to say dating all of these different women, but he was
Yeah.
definitely hooking up with all of them.
And many of them probably thought like, oh, this is kind of a thing we have going on.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of dating. We're dating.
Mm-hmm. One of them, she's now my good friend, but she was under the impression that the two of them were in an exclusive relationship for the last year and a half.
Wow, holy shit.
And she found out 2 weeks ago that was not the case. I figured it out a long time ago and cut off all ties with him. But then my sister came out to live with me for the summer, and she met him.
Fucking A.
And I warned her against him, and she was like, I know what I'm doing.
Oh, my God. And
Also, even though you're my sister, there's no such thing as a sister code for not sleeping with somebody that your sister has slept with. And so
Is that not? It's not a code. It's not
there is
there is a
absolutely a code.
I don't have any sisters. I do have brothers, and we have at least once broken that code, but in a friendly way,
Okay.
not in a serious way. We went to the same
no,
college.
Okay. No, this was bad.
He was dating 11 other women, and then he also dated your sister after he dated you. While he, I mean, sorry.
But he also lied to my sister and said that nothing ever happened between him and I, and that I was making it up out of jealousy. So he gaslit me.
Holy shit! Of course. Well, I mean, like, there's no way to get this done without being gaslighting left, right, and center. You need to be like basically everything you say is at least a partial gaslight. This is like a talented Mr. Ripley style something. There's people who do this. There's other cases, right? Are you reading? I saw you're reading this book about psychopaths,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how it came up. I was like, "What are you reading?" And you're like, "Oh, well." Well, there's been a psycho in my life, and I'd like to avoid that in the future. No more psychos if possible.
Yeah, I mean the book it's called Psychopath Free. It's
That's the way to be.
It is the way to be.
Psychopath free.
It's
You should do Pear. It's like Dare, but for psychopaths. You go to the school and you go, "What do we say to psychopaths, kids?" And they go, "We say no to psychopaths." The problem is you don't know they are.
Right, exactly.
That's the problem.
He was a master manipulator. He still is a master manipulator. One of the
Is
things,
he rich?
He actually is, yeah.
Because it's kind of like, if you're that good at lying, you should be rich.
Yeah.
You should make money off of it. Because lying, people who lie, he should be in. You know what? He should be in Congress. Tell you what, he should be president of the United States.
He doesn't do anything for work anymore. He just mooches off all the
Holy
women.
shit!
So.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said 2 weeks ago you found out that he was married. He got married.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. 'Cause
No,
you
it's
just
okay.
told
Like,
me all this stuff at once.
I have to you have to laugh at it. I truly have no emotions attached to him anymore.
I hope so.
I made peace with it a while ago when he ran off with my sister.
My God.
I'm kind of annoyed that I've been dragged back into it.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted all of this to be done with. But
Thanks, TikTok.
Yeah, right. Actually, TikTok, another woman found these videos on TikTok that he was involved with back in Kentucky. And Kentucky is where he lives with his wife. Or he used to live. Now he lives in Seattle. And so he was living with his now wife, but while she was at work during the day, he was meeting up with other women through dating apps. So we've succeeded in getting him banned from just about every dating app.
Oh, wow. You can do that?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, they take that stuff very seriously.
Oh, that's great. Because someone could be killing people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be a big lawsuit.
And
them.
who's to say he hasn't killed somebody? We don't know. Everything he's ever said is a lie. So
God damn.
even down to his favorite fucking bird.
What's
because he really likes birds.
You said emu, and I know it's an ostrich. I know it's close, but it doesn't. It's not the same.
I got into watercolor painting over the winter.
Okay.
And I don't have an artistic bone in my body.
Okay.
But I wanted to send him a painting of his favorite bird, and I asked him 7 different times, "What is your favorite bird?" And he was like, "Snowy owl," every time.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, send him a painting that I made over many weeks of a snowy owl. And then he gets it, and he goes, "I told you my favorite bird was a great gray owl."
Oh my god!
And I was like, "You motherfucker, no, you didn't."
No,
but
you didn't.
Why does that have to be a lie? Because he's just doing it to mess with me and all the other women.
Holy shit! Why does it have to
nothing.
be? Why does that have to be a lie? Yeah. So everything he said, he just loves. He's a pathological liar.
Mm-hmm. And so reading this book is just kind of showing me that all of my gut instincts were right. I wasn't crazy, even though he made me feel crazy for questioning everything all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just it's kind of put it into perspective for me of oh yeah, no, you were totally normal, and everything that you did was what a normal person would have done, and he just groomed you to react the way that you did because
Yes.
he just wanted to watch you fall.
Ugh.
Building everything up for your downfall is what psychopaths do.
Oh my god! So when did you start to okay? So how did you meet him, and how did it start off nice, and then how did it end? How did you figure it out?
Well, so unfortunately I met him because he was my roommate when
Okay.
I first moved to Jackson.
Gotcha.
He was another wildlife guide,
Gotcha.
and I was really excited to live with another wildlife guide because it he could teach me stuff. It was
Right.
my first time guiding, and I'd never lived in Jackson before. He'd lived there for many years, so I was pretty stoked on that.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
broke the cardinal rule of roommates.
And then don't steal their food. That's the cardinal rule. Otherwise, they're gonna have sex with you.
Well, yeah, and so I guess I stole his food. And
So how long into being roommates did that start? The sexual
I
relationship.
hate this question because he hadn't moved in yet.
Aha!
Yeah.
Negative.
Negative 3 days.
Hey, I get it. Don't worry. I like
He
sex.
helped me moved in.
I get it. Don't worry. No problem. I understand. I get it. I get it. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
So you're living together. Things are going well for a while. I assume it's nice.
Yeah.
What is he like?
Nice.
Does he seem twitchy and weird, or is he very charming?
He's very charming, but I can't honestly answer the question of what is he like because he molds himself to be whatever his current target's dream guy is.
Oh my god.
So
is he wearing different things? Like, how does this manifesting? What is this sort of chameleon?
I will say, homeboy does not know how to dress himself.
Damn, charming, but okay, no fashion sense. That's why he hasn't made it into the big time yet. That's why he doesn't have 33 girls on the line. You know what I mean? He has 11. If he had fucking get a suit together, get a suit. He has a little money in a suit. He could fucking take over the world.
The one thing that I know he never lied about was how much money he had, because I guess this is something psychopaths do, but he like opened his bank account on his phone like while we were cuddling, so like obviously I was gonna see that.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of money. He was like,
That's
yeah, and this
crazy.
is my play money. This is not like all the money that I have. This is just like what I have to spend on fun things. And he never spent anything on fun things. He made it seem like a chore to take me out on my birthday.
Oh my god. Okay, so things obviously here already things start going bad right away, or like not right away, but he's a jerk.
He's a jerk. We're roommates, and he has a lot of friends come to visit him from all over the country.
Women?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And turns out all of these friends were women that he'd met on Bumble.
Oh my god.
While living in Jackson, and that he convinced them to lie on his behalf to me.
Oh my god.
And like all of these women, like my sister and I and the other women that first found out have all reached out to these other women that he had flings with.
Nice.
And they all feel terrible.
I
don't want
like
them to feel
friends
bad.
now? It sounds like you're like a crew.
You know what?
It's like Ocean's 11. Ocean's how many? 11.
Oh my god. I have always. It's always just been easier for me to get along with guys. I have a lot of guy friends, and I have always said, I really wish I had more lady friends. This is not how I wanted to go about getting them. This is not at all how I wanted to go about getting them. But now I have so many girlfriends.
Sure, it's one way. It's one way, of course. Definitely one way to get 11 friends.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. You guys should go out. You're all in each other's bridal parties when you finally get married to someone decent, you know?
One of the last things that this guy said to me before I cut him out of my life was, I was basically like freaking out because he'd gaslit me to my sister, and I was trying to get her to stay away. And he was like, "We're gonna fix this. It's gonna be okay.
This is your sister."
We'll all, yeah. Well, this is him saying this. We're like don't worry about this. Like, you and I can talk about this later. But we'll all be okay. And like someday we'll all be at each other's weddings. Well, he already got married.
Okay, we'll get to that. We will get to that.
But this I told this story to the other women, and now they're like, well, we're gonna take a picture at somebody's wedding, or we're all together, and then just send it to him with the quote, "Someday we'll all be at each other's weddings." This probably isn't what you had in mind, is it?
Oh my god, so good. That would be great. Or you go to his. He already got married. Well, you go to his next wedding.
Yeah, I mean, we told the wife.
Fuck, good. Wow. So he is fully.
They've been together since high school, and she didn't know.
They've been together since high school.
16 years.
They've been together for 16 years. And then what does he go? What is his? What? So he's dating this girl one. He's now married to her. He just got married to her.
Mm-hmm.
He just got married to her.
Like 3
But for
weeks
16
ago.
years previous, they were like in a long distance relationship. In her what
in
she
her
thought
mind,
of?
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'd say that they weren't together in college. He had a different girlfriend we're really trying to reach out to her to figure out what the fuck happened.
This is the book, right? Is this well, you were talking about writing a book.
I was, and at first, once upon a time, I thought that this would just be a chapter in the book, but this could be its own fucking book.
I assure you already, even not knowing what I do know, that it could be a whole book.
And it could be a movie.
It could be a great movie. I think it's been kind of a movie. What?
Well, it's like the show Dirty John on Netflix.
Dirty John?
Yeah, that's like
John.
Dirty John was first a podcast.
Okay.
That
it's a documentary?
Yeah, that
wow.
interviews basically like people who have had sociopaths in their lives.
Wow.
And then Netflix turned it into a TV show, and I started watching the first episode, and I couldn't do it. I was like getting really stressed out because it's exactly what I've been through.
Oh, of course.
And I recognized all of it. And like being on the other side of it now, I'm like, why was I such a fucking idiot?
That's okay.
But when you're in it,
of course,
you can't see it. It's
oh my god, and like love is the most powerful thing in the world. It's incredible. It's wild.
Yeah, and I will say that it pissed him off when I told him that I wouldn't fall in love with him, and because that's his whole goal is to just get.
But hadn't you already?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay, sorry. I fell in love in like 4 days. That's why I said that.
Oh, I normally do too,
yeah,
and the
I like
fact that I
days.
didn't was like a pretty telling sign for me. It's
Yeah.
either like all in or I will not give a shit about you.
Yeah. I'm like, yep, I got it. Yeah, usually. She's back there. She seems like she's sniffing a different thing, Rosie.
Yeah, thank goodness for that.
Yeah.
Did I tell you Rosie's short for Roosevelt?
No. Which Roosevelt?
Which Roosevelt do you think? Knowing me for the
Theodore.
Yeah,
there you
go.
Wilderness man.
She does not live up to the namesake, though. She's pretty dumb.
Theodore Roosevelt was climbing Mount Marcy when he found out that he was going to be president. I think he was a VP and the guy got killed.
Cool. I didn't know that.
A friend told me, and he's very smart, so I trust him. But
Yeah.
I have no primary. I wasn't there. I don't have any primary sources, but I don't have any secondary sources either.
I
But
was
that's what I
reading
heard.
this like 900-page book called Wilderness Warrior,
About
all
him?
about Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy.
I gave up at like page 400 because it was really dense.
Yeah.
I didn't even get to the part where he became president.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, hey, if I want to read a textbook, I'll just go back to school. But
Yeah. Yeah, and we know how well that went the last time.
exactly. It gets boring and you leave. It gets boring and you leave, and then you go to Jackson. Now in Jackson, you're doing these tours, wildlife tours, etc.
Yeah.
And wait, was this guy doing it? So this is a wildlife tour guide?
Yeah, he
That
worked for a
is
different
psychopath?
company.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do they know? Did you? So how? I wanted how much? Because it seems like you guys got together, a Facebook group or something, and you kind of blew it up. You're like, you got them off the apps.
Mm-hmm.
You got everyone now knows, and then also we have a sneaky TikToker giving us 2 million views on this or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So like no names were revealed at all in any of the
Good, okay.
TikToks.
Or whatever.
But there were pictures of his face. There was a picture of a University of Kentucky T-shirt, and
Which is where he went.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
That's
then
big-
at
that's a
one
big
point
school,
there was
right?
like a picture of my sister's name and his name carved into
Okay.
like a tree or something. And somebody, that was all one person needed, and they figured out who he was, and they blasted the comment section of every video with his name, his Instagram handle,
fuck.
his brother's name, his brother's Instagram handle,
Fuck.
his parents' names, their Facebooks, and the address.
No, that's a dox. Ooh, that's my food. Shit. What does he do for a living now?
Absolutely nothing.
He's living off of wifey.
He's living off his wife, who's a very, very talented lawyer.
My God. See? Charm is the most dangerous thing in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we told her, and she's been manipulated for like 16 years now,
Yeah.
so it's going to be a lot harder to break away from that.
Ooh.
But sorry. She the last message we got from her before she blocked everybody was
Ooh.
he's already started making changes and he's promised he'll change.
There you go.
And I'm like, all right, you know what? If promising he'll change by like changing his name on the dating apps to something else, then sure. To blocking the numbers of the women he's already slept with on his phone, but like
Making a new
continuing to
Instagram
add new
account?
ones. Like, yeah, it's well, the crazy
He's going
thing
to change his handle.
with that whole thing on TikTok is that random strangers on TikTok just went after them.
Yeah, man. Well, okay. So how do you feel about that? I mean, he got doxxed essentially. Doxing is like there's debates about how ethical doxing is and when doxing is supposed to be used and not supposed to be used or whatever.
Yeah. You know what? I think that he deserves every bit of
There you go.
torture and malice thrown his way. But the shitty thing is that that sleuth also revealed the wife's name.
Which is not cool.
It's not cool.
There you go. And the
And-
parents, I mean, hey, they did raise him, but I mean, I don't know if
No,
they deserve
people have
all
started
that.
going after the parents.
Yeah.
And I do think I met his parents, and his mother worships the ground he walks on. She adores her son.
And there is the problem, isn't it? I mean,
And
an over-loving mother can really do a man in.
and like she just has to know. The parents have to know.
Probably not. She probably thinks he's the best thing there since sliced bread, or maybe
Mhm.
they think he's like a ladies' man.
Yeah. I mean, I overheard his mom asking him while she was visiting that last summer, referring to me. Oh, is that one of your summer girls? That's when I
Summer
started to
girls.
question everything.
Oh man. And how long? Yeah. So how long were you like with him in any sense?
Like 6 months, probably.
Okay. And this was this past year.
This was summer of 2019.
Okay, last
and
summer.
fall.
Oh, what a great time it was! We didn't even know how good we had it. We could go outside. We could have. I mean, just. I mean, I wonder how he's probably really dried up his affair game right now. Quarantine's probably difficult to. It's not.
He got COVID and then gave it to his wife, because he was messing around with somebody else. And flying to New York to visit my sister. Probably got on a plane.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, you hope he got it from the girl, but probably he got it on the plane because it's like a 30 times more chances of him getting it from somebody else who wasn't the girl. But in the true ironic, it's like in the way that like guys get caught because they give their wife like chlamydia or something, and it's like, well, you didn't have chlamydia when I married you, but the COVID is now his thing is very funny. That's very funny. Do you think he will ever change?
No.
You're confident?
Psychopaths, this book
The book.
has taught me, psychopaths don't have the ability to feel emotion, feel remorse, regret,
Wow.
responsibility even. And so he'll just do this forever, which is why I'm in the beginning when
Should
my
we put him
sister
down?
started
Do you think he needs to be put down? Sorry.
when my sister started airing everything out on TikTok, I was like, don't make your trauma public. That's not cool. But now, knowing that he's moving to Seattle where there's fresh meat everywhere, I kind of love that
Yeah.
his face is out there. It's reached Seattle groups and women. We found out that one woman sent the links to all the videos to this whole neighborhood group for the neighborhood
Great.
that he moved to.
Great. Okay, good.
So it's, he'll never change, but if we can at least make things a lot harder for him.
Yeah. So he wasn't. I mean, he's dangerous, but he wasn't physically violent. Sorry. Or was he?
There were times when he would prove how easily he could kill me if
Okay.
he wanted to.
Okay.
And that's those. I look back on those times and wonder why I stayed.
In what kind of way? How?
You could be play wrestling like you do
Sure.
as couples, and then suddenly I would watch something change in his eyes, and he would just pin me down in this way and choke me.
Oh my God.
And I there was nothing I could do, and I always felt really scared. And
Oh, I'm sorry, Kelsey.
that's okay. I mean it's not, but it's I'm still here, and he is no longer in my life. So
You made it to Moab on election
I
day,
did.
2020.
Wow.
We're
Yeah.
sitting here while electoral votes are being tabulated all across the country, and something will change tonight. Not this week, I guess.
Yeah. Not tonight, but
Yeah.
yeah.
You had said you wanted to get out of cell phone service for the election night. You said that earlier, right?
I did, yeah.
That was the plan.
That was the plan, and then I remembered I had a bunch of assignments for grad school that are due tomorrow.
Yeah, and so you're gonna want to get something done.
But I didn't check the news at all.
That's good. Yeah, neither have I. But it's because I know there's no news. I mean, now it's almost 5 now. I think at 5 or 6 it'll be 8 o'clock in Florida. Or wait, at 6 it'll be 8 o'clock in Florida, I think. and then polls will close in Florida, and they had a lot of early voting, which they already calculated, so they might have enough. I don't know, but it's I guess the turnout was pretty even, Democrats and Republicans. That's the news I got. And that's that. And that's the does it make you anxious? How are you feeling?
It does make me anxious. I will admit though that I've been pretty hyper focused on the drama in my own life and less so in the country's life.
A different psychopath. This one's closer to home, and so this is a little bit more concerning.
Yeah. I had this.
Is that why you're on this? Is that why you're kind of camping? Is that part of it, or what?
It is part of it, because he and his wife were moving across the country from Kentucky to Seattle, and she'd never been to Jackson before, and so I had a very strong hunch that they were going to stop in Jackson.
Yeah.
And so I got out of town because we used to be roommates, so he knows where I live, and nobody in Jackson has keys to their houses because nothing ever happens there. And I was sleeping with a can of bear spray next to my bed every night for the last 2 weeks.
Very good.
So yeah, I got out of town because of him.
Get out of town.
And also because I have a very strong love for the desert.
I know, isn't it so? I haven't really even left this land very much in the last couple of days, 'cause I just love walking around this insane desert. What mountains are these in the distance?
The La Salles.
La Salles.
Mm-hmm.
So are they east of us? Ish. Good.
Yes.
You don't know? They are east. All right, good. Because I was going by the sun, which is setting opposite. The La Salles are part of the Rockies?
I think technically, yeah, like the Wasatches are part of the Rockies, I believe. Like the shit.
Can you climb the La Salles?
You can. Mm-hmm.
You can go to the top of there.
Yeah, you can ski them.
Whoa, fuck! People who do that are wild. I was hiking, and this guy was talking to me like, "Oh, I can't wait to hike this slope." We were climbing up the slope. It's like all rock, and he goes, "This would be killer." And I go, "Really?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, I'll be back."
On my bike ride today, I found some rappel anchors. I got to the edge of a cliff and looked over and saw a bunch of climbing anchors there. It made me very excited. And there's I don't even know that was a thing over where I was biking, that they had stuff over there.
A single, is it sport pike or single pike climb? You taught me this stuff today. Single pitch, God, single pitch climb. Which is when you don't need to have a team that's going in tandem, going up and up and up a higher thing. It's a shorter one with anchors, so you can belay yourself, kind of.
I mean, you can
someone's on the ground belaying you.
You have to. Yeah, typically the way climbing is done is somebody else is there to belay you. But
happy belated birthday. That's what they would say if it was your birthday earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But you can always say that. Yeah. Just a little bit of pun humor. Keep going.
I really love terrible puns. So
people like them because someone's trying something. They like to see someone try.
Really hard.
Really hard. And puns are the most difficult thing to do. So that's why everyone likes them so much. So nearby, there's single pitch climbing.
I don't actually know what it was. It looked like a pretty long ways down. I didn't see any other. I didn't really see that many crack features. It may have just been a rappel spot.
Okay.
To get down into something that you could then hike out from, but.
How does the climbing here compare to the climbing in Jackson?
So different.
The rock climbing, that is. To clarify, rock climbing. Do you ever competitively rock climb? Side note.
No, I don't.
I talked to a girl at a bar one time who was a competitive rock climber, and I go, "Oh, is it whoever?" Because I'm interested, and I'm talking to her, and I go, "Oh, is it whoever gets to the top first wins?" And she goes, "No, everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks it's the race to the top." And I go, "I'm sorry. Oh, okay, sorry to bother you. I want to hear about your passion, but I guess now is the time to shame a man."
Yeah, if you don't know anything about climbing, that's a very reasonable question.
And I'm just being vulnerable, and she just stomped all over my little heart. And guess what? Nothing happened there. I just left.
I'm so sorry.
Conversation's over. Sorry. Hey, I don't. Yeah.
Probably better off. Climbers can be real dicks.
Everyone thinks the group they're in can be assholes or whatever, but. So you haven't done that competitively.
Mm-mm.
But
no.
How does the climbing in Jackson compare? Because the climbing in Jackson is in the Grand Tetons.
Yeah, it's in the Teton range. It's all mostly granite climbing.
Wow.
the approach hikes, like the hikes to get to the base of any climb, is what a lot of people consider the crux, which is the hardest part of a
Okay.
climb. Just
How
because
far are these hikes?
I think the shortest hike that I know of in the Teton Range is like 3 miles.
Okay, so it's always more, and you're carrying this heavy shit. How much heavy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a backpack. It's like a heavy backpack.
Yeah, I mean, so you bring like a 60 or 70 meter rope that weighs a substantial amount. I've actually never weighed them to figure out how much it weighs.
You have all those carabiners. You have the cams.
Mm-hmm.
Cam?
Proud of you.
No problem. Thank you very much. For trad climbing, that is, of course.
Yeah, and that's
if you're trad,
what, that's
which is short
what.
for traditional.
Yeah, look at you.
I listen when rock climbers speak. And now next time I'm going to press some other rock climber with my knowledge. Is that cams? You guys doing trad? Cool. Okay.
Cool.
How many pitches?
There you
One
go.
or more? Are you guys doing a tandem? No, they're like, not. That's not what we're doing.
It's not. Yeah, it's called simul climbing.
Simul.
If both people climb at the same time.
They simul climb all day and they simul climax all night. You know, they're if you rock climb together, you fuck good together. That's the story.
That's not.
That's how it
No.
always goes.
No.
Every rock climbing team is fucking each other.
I've had that happen exactly once in my life.
And did you feel like he had your back, or she had your back, or whoever had your back, supporting you?
Yeah, he was actually who I was just in the creek with. He's got a new girlfriend now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
Ain't that a bitch?
it is. Really is. But after him, I swore off climbers for a long time.
Aha. That's actually, I know a lot of comedians, and all the time people are swearing off comedians. People of both genders are going, no more comedians for me.
No more comedians.
No more comedians. Girls I know who aren't comedians also say that. People in New York will be like, in Chicago, being a comedian was like a little bit more cool. It was like, oh, cool, you're a comedian. Interesting. In New York, it's like, oh, you're a comedian. I already dated a comedian and an actor. I can't date a comedian. They're like, I'm done with this whole thing. I'm done. I'm out of here. I want a guy with a job. And they deserve that, and I understand.
Climbers don't have jobs either.
Yes, they're probably instructors, right?
No,
They just don't have jobs.
they just don't have jobs.
It's their passion.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like the guy from Free Solo lived in a van, just like me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like the guy from Free Solo. I'm passionate about. Oh wait, I don't have a passion. Podcasting.
Sure you do.
Podcasting and comedy are my climbing, and this is my El Capitan. This right now is this is the hardest one. I'm just kidding. You're the hardest person to interview.
I feel so honored. My goal in life is to make everything as difficult as possible for other people.
Well, you're making it really hard for this guy to have 14 more wives. You know, he's trying to populate the country with his offspring.
Oh my God.
Did he want to have a
What if
family?
she's pregnant?
Oh, what if she's pregnant? Maybe what if she's pregnant? Here's what I hope. I hope that he sees his child, looks into his child's eyes, and he's forever changed into a better man. And he goes, I had a wild. Before you came around, I was wild. I know. I hope that, but it's probably not gonna
Psychopaths
happen.
can't do that.
So should we? I mean, like, okay, if we say that that's true, if science believes that they're only gonna hurt people until the day that they die, shouldn't? I mean, like, is it ethical to fucking kill them? Put them out of their misery.
All of us women think that he should be locked up because
Locked
of the
up.
damage that he does to other people.
Yeah.
But we got nothing.
Yeah,
on
nothing.
him,
No charge.
right? He's just like a pathological liar and an abusive manipulator.
This has been like kind of the year too for like there's crimes like this, like sexual social crimes, you know,
Mhm.
that are not really recognized in the court of law.
Yeah.
And so we end up having to do a mob justice. It happens in the comedy community all the time where everyone goes, hey, this man is raping women, sexually assaulting women, whoever. You know what I mean? Or like, this person is doing this, or this guy doesn't pay. You know what I mean? Like, and we have all these things that we have to just kind of like have a social justice about, or what's that's the wrong term, but like it's up to us to figure out to make this right.
Right. It's like a social reckoning, like
Yes.
among the public.
Yes, because he's doing it in the public sphere. It's up to us to police our own spaces.
Mm-hmm.
These are the discussions that we're having in comedy, and obviously you're having them everywhere.
Yeah. I will say I thought that I was too smart and too nice for this to happen to me, but it turns out it can happen to anybody.
Well, nice people. That's how it happens. I mean, that's you're trusting. That
yeah,
sucks.
we decided as a group that he goes after like good girls.
Yeah, Oh my God, this is a movie. This is a book.
Yeah.
Such a good story. Such clear lines of good and evil, which is hard to find in any real life story.
Yeah.
Although I'd like to hear, I would like to get him in the podcast and see what he says about it.
Oh my God.
He would gaslight me. He'd be like, "They're all insane. It's a conspiracy to take my money."
That
That's
is
what they want.
exactly what he would say. He is insane.
And after an hour, I'm like, "I love you. I want to away with you."
I'm very proud of myself that I am one of the only women that didn't say that to him.
Nice. Didn't say you loved him.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. See, you guarded yourself.
'Cause I'm all or nothing, and
Well,
there was this moment where he looked at me and was like, "I can make you fall in love with me if I wanted you to," and it gave me chills. And it turns out one of my friends from grad school actually used to work with him in Yellowstone, and she hated his guts. She thought he was just an awful person.
It turns out he was.
It turns out she was right. Yeah. So and when I told her that story, which was like very early on in our relationship, her only response was run, which like
Run.
sent chills up my spine.
Get out.
Like, who says that to somebody? I can make you fall in love with me if I wanted.
Run.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I
anyway.
said it in first dates, but it's just kind of a more charming thing. I'm just like, I can make you fall in love with you if I wanted to, and I do, like that, you know. But, wow. Okay, this is an interesting conversation because it vacillated between fun outdoors, chats and rock climbing and this absolute fucking psychopath. How's your sister dealing with it besides the TikToks?
She's having a very hard time with it. They were only together for like 3 months, though, and he is the first person she's ever said "I love you" to.
Oh,
Um.
tell her I'm very sorry. I feel for her.
Well, yeah, like, and I'm focusing more on the support for her right now rather than just like, you betrayed me, you lied to me,
right.
you broke my heart.
Right. Because you guys had,
We'll
you guys
get
had your
there.
own thing. You guys had your own thing to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So has it been made better by this?
I mean, I'm talking to her,
So that's
which
better.
is
Yeah.
more better than what I thought
Right.
like a month ago.
Yeah.
I was like very content with. Not content with, but I'd made peace with the notion that I would never speak to her again.
Nice. Wow. Or not nice.
Right.
I mean,
Well,
wow.
just simply because of the way everything unfolded and the lies that she told me. It's like I realized that her selfishness knows no bounds, and I know that she was manipulated by him too, but
Sure.
she did still play an active role.
Wow. Okay. Right. So there's conversations that need to happen there.
Mm-hmm.
There's healing. Well, she's gonna be your sister forever.
Yeah, she is. That is something that I don't get to pick. So.
That is not something you get to pick. But that's what's interesting about family is that you have an undeniable connection,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't. Well, you can. People do it all the time, but it's not easily broken.
Right.
And she's younger than you, so you kind of like also. You're like parenting her. You've parented her. Is that right?
She's 5 years younger than me, but if I get
Which
one
is
more
huge.
person telling me, well, give her time, she's young, I'm going to strangle them because I was not pulling this shit when I was 24 years old.
Oh, that's one of the questions I like asking people is your 23rd year of your life, your Jordan year. This is what I call the Jordan year. Because coming from Chicago, we all knew Jordan was very important. The 23rd year, this is number 23.
Okay, yeah.
23rd year of your life is a very important year in your life. Do you remember where you were? When's your birthday?
September 4th.
So September 4th, when you turned 23 on September 4th, where were you? Were you living? You'd left school
I was
probably.
in the Hamptons. I was in East Hampton.
How about that? How about that for a birthday?
My grandparents own a house out there.
Ooh, baby, house in the Hamptons. That's where you want to be.
And I had
How funny. We're two New Yorkers here in Utah right now.
Yeah,
You're in the
cool.
Hamptons and you're 23. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I had all my closest girlfriends from high school and some friends from college at the house, and we just spent the weekend at the beach.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then where did that year take you? Where were you going? Where'd you go that winter, that Christmas? Where were you? Because you had been done with school. Were you in your graduate program that you didn't like yet?
No, I was not.
This was an in-between phase?
Yeah. This was...
You were working somewhere?
Yeah, I moved to Pennsylvania to trap white-tailed deer.
Okay. This is the Pennsylvania. We're in Pennsylvania.
It's a small town called Coudersport.
Where? What
North
area?
Central PA, about
Oof.
2.5 hours north of State College, where Penn State is.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I went to school just north of like Bradford, Pennsylvania.
Where did you go?
St. Bonaventure University. It was in New York.
Okay.
So it's on the southern tier. So it's probably maybe like 200 miles from this place.
I was like
West.
an hour from Erie.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we were probably close.
Mhm.
North Central, yeah, because we were like an hour and a half from Erie, and we're on the
Okay.
Pennsylvania border essentially.
Yeah. Okay. Really
Um,
brutal winters.
You telling me, man? I mean, I'm from Syracuse. It's all the same shit to me, but
Right, fair.
I gotta
yeah.
get out of there. It's terrible. I mean, like Westchester, New York. New York is 10 degrees warmer than my hometown on any given day.
Yeah.
New York
well,
City. You gotta get out of there. But so you're working in Pennsylvania through what? Through that winter and that spring every 23rd year
Yeah, and then I moved to South Africa.
in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Which is their winter.
their winter. So you had 2 winters that year, but winter in South Africa not that bad.
We got snow like one day,
Okay.
and everybody was in shock. Like all the townspeople were like, "Oh my god!" It was actually really cool to see how excited they were, and I was
African
just
snow.
like, "God damn it, it's snow!" I
my
recognize that I
summer.
live in a state where it's winter 9 months of the year, and that I just have to put up with it. It's gonna snow on Saturday.
Montana.
Wyoming.
I get them mixed up, the W and the M. This is so embarrassing. Wyoming. Sorry.
So it's okay.
Um,
I would rather.
And I apologize to both the states of Wyoming and Montana.
I'm sure they'll forgive you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Wyoming is the least populated state in the U.S. So
I know, and you get the most representation in the Senate. Did you vote?
I sure did.
Good. You get because your vote counts for so much for Senate, and also for I mean it doesn't. I guess the Electoral College, yeah, a little bit more. You get whatever.
Yeah,
Anyway.
my vote means nothing in New York.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. It's a drop in the bucket, the blue
Yeah.
bucket. Okay, so Pennsylvania, South Africa in the summer. When do you come back? When do you come back from South Africa, or do you turn 24 in September in South Africa?
I turned 24 just after coming back from South Africa. And where is he? Knock it off. I celebrate that at my family's house in the Catskills.
Oh, right, another fucking nice. Because
Yeah.
it's a good birthday because it's still summer-y. It's kind of like Labor Day-ish.
It's always Labor Day weekend.
No, that's excellent. That's where you want it to be.
Yeah, so it was
Perfect.
the same group of friends that came up.
The one that guy dated all of them.
Thankfully, not that group. God.
But you were kind of okay. So and then we'll get out of here. You were friends with them or whatever. These girls,
Yeah.
sort of.
Oh, what the girls that this dude also slept with?
Yes. Well, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't stop. I just come up with new questions about it, and I go, I gotta
No,
ask it.
that's fine. Like I feel no emotions about it anymore.
I
so
appreciate
I'm
that. I bet
happy to
it
answer
is
any
hard to talk
question.
about, and I appreciate you talking about it because it's very, very interesting to me.
It's fascinating.
It's fascinating. I'm glad it didn't happen to me, but I'm happy to have heard about it. I'm very happy to have heard about it. A harem of 11. What if I was one of a harem of 11 men that one mastermind woman?
All because you caught me reading that one book.
I know. You always ask why they're reading the book because that is usually an interesting question.
Yeah, I'm not one for books like this ever.
For nonfiction?
No, just like kind of self-help books like this.
Gotcha.
But the other ladies in the group have been reading it and like sending highlighted paragraphs.
And now you're in a book club.
I'm totally.
This is the hardest way. This is the hardest way to get into a book
This
club.
is not how I wanted to join a book club. It's not how I wanted more lady friends. It's not how I wanted any of the things.
We can't always get what we want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need. You know?
And I'm getting what I need from this book.
Yeah. So now you're all reading it together. And hopefully that'll never happen to you again.
I sure as shit hope
That'd be really good.
Yeah.
So you're into creative nonfiction is what you're studying now. That's where
Yep, I'm back
currently
in grad school.
you're back in grad school.
for
MFA
writing.
for writing.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be a great. What brought you to creative nonfiction?
I've always loved writing, like my whole life. I took a couple creative nonfiction classes in college. Tried fiction writing, and it didn't really stick with me all that well. So
So is it more that you like the way you write? Is it more that you prefer creative nonfiction when you're wanting something to read, or that you
no,
like writing
mm-mm.
CNF better?
I just like writing creative nonfiction better. A couple of years ago, when I was going through some tough stuff, I got really tired of people commenting on my photos on Instagram. It was shortly after I moved to Montana.
Okay.
Just being like, oh my gosh, it seems like you're having the time of your life out there. Like, your life seems so amazing. I got really tired of this, I guess, persona or whatever that social media kind of portrays for other people.
Sure.
'Cause nobody ever shares the bad shit.
Yes.
And so I started sharing photos of me like climbing and hiking with dogs and friends and whatever, but then writing like for Instagram a long caption as a way to kind of share my writing and be vulnerable, and it was very well received by both friends and strangers alike.
Nice. Do you go by Kels, or is it Kelsey was just
You have
taken?
to earn that. Most people call me Kelsey. My closest friends call me Kels.
Okay. Gotcha. We're not there yet. We just met. Now, okay, so you're writing CNF in the captions of these Instagrams,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. Instagram is nice. I understand why it's the number one social media right now. It's winning the game. I get it because you get some words and some pictures.
And I'm
And
into
words only if
photography
you want.
too.
There
and,
you go.
And so like it's kind of a way to share two different interests. And like the encouragement that I got from things that I was sharing where people were just like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I feel the same way. Thank you for sharing this, whatever.
Very good.
Encouraged me to enter writing competitions, and I was like winning or coming in like first, second, or third place.
Nice.
And where is he?
Our good dog chewing a log.
And then eventually I just kind of realized that I wanted to go back to school for it and see if I could actually do the thing.
Fuck yeah, you can.
Yeah, we'll see.
You get the skills and get a story to tell.
Yeah. I clearly have a story to tell. Holy shit.
This is the book. All right, Kelsey. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
This is fun.